It's time. It's time for you to create your masterpiece. But in order for you to do so, you must first learn to master your piece. That's right, your piece. The piece that was given to you and not given to anyone else. Your gift. The great artist Pablo Picasso said, "The meaning of life is to find your gift. But the purpose of life is to then give that gift away." Well, it's the builder, and it's time to build minds with minds like mine. Welcome to W.I.L.L Wednesdays. It don't have anything to do with the day of the week, but it has everything to do with what you think, feel, and speak. It has to do with your ability to win each day. Listen, there's only one you. And in that you, something was given to you and not to anyone else. And that's your piece, your masterpiece. And it's time for you to uncover it. You may be thinking that you're not ready, or I'm just not fit to be that. I have all of these flaws. I'm just not fit. But guess what? Even with your flaws, I still see a masterpiece. Many of us have to realize that at times we have to subscribe to someone else's belief in us before our own belief in self kicks in. See, you can be both a masterpiece and a work in progress simultaneously. Have you ever heard the story of Michelangelo's David? When this story was introduced to me by a good friend of mine several years ago, it made a huge impact on me, to where each day that I rise, I decided that I'm going to work to uncover my inner David. Listen, 100 years before Michelangelo ever came along, they charted the path of creating this great work of art. An artist was commissioned to begin to do the work, but several years later, after barely chopping at the stone to create some fixtures that looked like legs, his contract was terminated. Then it was 10 years later that the council came up for order again and said, we have to get this done, because see, the biblical character David was a huge sign and a huge influence on their community in Florence. But that sculpture didn't last long either. Now, 25 consecutive years passed by, and the stone, the great stone of marble, just set out in the workshop courtyard outside in the element and began to be deteriorated just year after year, till finally the council said, we must get this done. So they consulted all of the great sculptors and all of the great artists at the time, but it was the young 26-year-old Michelangelo that showed himself capable and ready to take on the challenge of creating this great work of art. But guess what? Even then, a month went by. Michelangelo would show up with the stone and just analyze and look at it and spend time with it to really see through the stone, to see the piece, to see the masterpiece. That's right. Once he begun, it was a 2-year feat that later he uncovered one of the greatest works of art that we know to be in the entire world. Listen, you are perfect. You are imperfectly perfect. Everybody has their flaws. Everyone has had some type of challenge that has set them up to feel like they just aren't ready. But that piece, that masterpiece, it is inside of you. I say this to you sincerely, sincera, meaning without wax. Oh, I'm sorry. During that time, whenever a sculptor made a mistake, they said that they would use a colored wax to fill in the mistakes that were made. So when a great work of art was done, like you, it was said to be done without wax. See, and then the words went on to carry the meaning. Anytime something was to mean authentic or flawless, it was said to be without wax. So, I say to you, I know we all don't know what we don't know, but we must continuously look for room to grow. And in it, I challenge you with the words of Tony Robbins. I challenge you to make your life a masterpiece. I challenge you to join the people that walk what it is they teach and the ones who walk what they talk. And oh yeah, by the way, when you do it without wax. And if you will, I will, we will. Let's build.